What's up, everybody? Pete McPherson from Do You Even Blog and Fab here. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through just kind of my overall workflow and publishing checklist. When I do a new blog post from scratch, which I have a new brand, which I just started, here is like every single step, including the tools I use and some other stuff. There'll be some cool stuff here. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's dive in. So first, here are the updated tools, my updated tool stack right here. There's not a lot, actually. I use my checker, checklist, and tracker, which I'll show you a little bit later, for basically just managing the to-do list and keeping track of everything. And I also just hired an editor, so I'm like using this to help with that. Fab.ai for outlines and rough drafts and stuff. We'll get to that in just a second. Hemingway, not only Hemingway, but Hemingway Pro, I'm actually experimenting with. I'll show you that. Grammarly Premium, I've never ever had before. I've always just used Grammarly free version, and I've recently upgraded to Grammarly Premium. Been trying that out. Xmind for mind mapping stuff. We're not actually going to talk about that in this video, but if you have topical maps, if you really want to like get on top of your internal linking and stuff like that, topical authority, silos, just kind of managing that process, having a map that looks like that, I use Xmind for that. Completely free and whatever. I'm not going to show you that in this video, but there it is. And then I use ChatGPT just for featured images at this point in time. Midjourney is definitely still better, but I already pay for ChatGPT just because, and so I don't feel like paying for Midjourney right now, so I'm using ChatGPT. All right, so here's workflow. Step number 1, add keywords, extra info in Fab.ai. Actually, let's conquer these in one go. Generate outline with Claude 3. So the new Claude 3 models are absolutely superb. Here is a post right here. I usually put in the keyword as well as the extra info, which is basically just research I have done beforehand, stuff off the top of my head, my opinions, facts, data, anything that the AI will not know to make it more accurate. Again, in the world of Google helpful content updates and such, we absolutely need to have our personal takes, personal opinions, personal knowledge that no one else has. Like, it needs to be very authoritative. It needs to be me. It needs to be Pete, right? And so I put the products I recommend, what I think, reviews, anything like that the AI needs to know. I will then choose the type of post, which this is a roundup post, so I'll do that. And again, these Claude, let's see if we can zoom in here. Yeah, the new Claude 3 models are just phenomenal for outlines. Phenomenal. All of the OpenAI outlines just kind of bring back the same sort of stuff over and over again. And I've found that the new Claude 3 models just do a better job. It seems more real. It seems more human. I leave this checked on. Fab.ai actually pulls in live search results and analyzes it to like create the structure of blog posts and such like that. So that's step number 1 in this process. Step number 2, well, step number 1 and 2. I'll do a little bit of research. I'll compile the data, facts, opinions, etc. I'll generate the outline. And then, again, this is helpful content update sort of stuff. I will revise the outline. This is actually where I spend the most time. I don't want to edit. I don't like editing. Editing makes me sad. It's tedious. It's never felt right to me. I would rather spend a little bit more time editing this. You can see it pulled in all my recommendations here. I can add extra prompts, custom instructions on like a per section basis, etc. I can like just add new stuff to this outline, remove stuff. I will usually spend 10 minutes just with the outline right here, which in the grand scheme of things actually doesn't sound that long. But when it comes to like AI blogging, a lot of people skip this, right? A lot of people are like, cool, run the post. Where I spend a lot more time right here making sure that this post is actually great, by the way, for like a review post. Top fountain pens, that's getting right to the point there as an introduction. Factor buying guide, right? And then alternatives, honorable mentions and alternatives, Pilot Metropolitan, Platinum Preppy. Like, all these are fantastic things. I will almost always go to Google and just check the people also ask, right? Best fountain pen under 100, go to Google, check the people also ask if there is one. I might even open up a Reddit post or two just to see what questions people have, see what recommendations people have. Again, I do this in the editing phase. Or no, excuse me, I do this in the outline phase. I don't want to produce crap AI content and then have to edit it later. I don't think that's going to work anymore. I think with Google cracking down on spam, the way to do this is up front. Spend the time right here making sure your outlines are great and perfect. I write my opinions in for these different products and such like that. Factors to consider should be price, right? Price, although we're under 100, so maybe that wouldn't work, but alas. So I'll edit the outline, optimize the outline, revise outline, whatever you want to call it. All right, the next couple of steps here, I'm currently using Claude 3 to produce content as well, just because I still think they're better. Opus, I do think, is the best you could possibly do right now, period. Even better than ChatGPT 4 or GPT-4 Turbo, but Claude 3 Sonnet is almost as good, and it's just way faster. Way faster. So I generate the thing, and then you're going to see this next step over here. Fast, sloppy, one-click rewrites. So this is before I go into Hemingway and Grammarly Premium. Before I type anything, I don't want to type anything on my keyboard. I will do like these one-click rewrites, which I'll show you in just a second, just to quickly change up formatting. I think the longer we can keep people on the page, the better. This has always been a Google thing, but especially now. Bullet points, tables, headers, subheaders, these things break up text. They always have, really. This is nothing new. But now with AI, I can take what the AI gives me right here and then just briefly fine-tune it with a click of a button, right? And I have a bunch of saved prompts in here. I'm actually going to do a YouTube video on this. I will show you some of them, custom editing prompts. You can save these in Fab. Rewrite this to be funnier. Rewrite this to include a table and that sort of stuff. I have a bunch of these that I've kind of fine-tuned over time that work really well for me. Use shorter sentences and simpler words. Include a helpful table. To have better formatting, do not change any of the actual content. Like these things, you could just quickly run back to AI. It costs next to nothing, right? Like here's an intro. That might even be too, what's it called? Long. Shorter and more punchy. Oh, actually, I just want a bullet point list right here, right? So I'll just do these one-click rewrites. We'll see what happens. Please wait. Come on. Okay. That just looks way better. I know it's the content I want as well. That's the other thing. Factors to consider: price, ink filling system. So I could do like, I'm not saying this actually makes sense for this particular post, but again, I look at formatting. I make things punchier. I have a post over here. There's a table I can use. Where'd they go? Right there? Yeah. Again, I just do this really quickly. I browse through. I don't read every single word here. I'm not really into that phase yet. I'm just doing like the one click. Like this is way too long, right? Whatever that is. Oh, that's the conclusion right there. So I'll do that, and I'll rewrite this to be more Hemingway-like. And again, this is actually mimicking what the Hemingway editor does, even though my next step in this thing is to copy and paste into Hemingway. And I should add here, I also do Grammarly Premium in this step. Grammarly Premium works inside Hemingway as well. It's kind of like a 1-2 punch here. So let's just use it. So once that's done, I'll kind of export here. Let's do copy HTML, go over to Hemingway, paste. Oh, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Copy as rich text. How about that? Let's try that one. Okay, there we go. Copy as rich text. So here's my blog post. This is generally where I'll come through, and again, I'm not really reading every word at this point, but I'm just changing really just the bad run-on sentences like this, the red ones. I'll usually try and do like some cleanups here. Half the time this is better, and half the time it's not, even though a lot of times it turns green. I find that it's actually not better. You can also start to edit formatting, line breaks, literal edits, like content edits, and that sort of stuff. Again, not all these suggestions are great every time, even though they seem like upgrades. I'll usually spend maybe like 10 to 15 minutes on this phase. It used to be less, but now I really want my content to be snappy and human sounding, right? This is already really good. Like grade 9, that's actually really good for AI blogging. This does help with AI detectors a little bit, although I'm not concerned about that, and I don't think anybody else should be either. But it does make it more human. I'll say that. That's why I'm here. Like, part of the reason I put it in Hemingway is to make things just easier to read. And often, I do this in Fab as well, but you can do this here too. You can do more casual. Oh, wow. Why did it do 2? That's annoying. Fountain pens are just so cool, standing out from regular pens. Fountain pens are pretty cool and different from regular pens. Like, they give you that special feeling when this is not great. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to use it for now. But again, I have some fine-tuned rewrite prompts in here that are a little bit better than that are like more my style, right? Hemingway isn't my style. Anyways, so I'll go through here, and what I'll usually do at this point, sometimes I do some Grammarly stuff here. I don't actually see a lot popping up. I will actually copy this entire thing and go to WordPress and paste it there. Anyways, from that point, I will generally go in and paste it into here. Sometimes the tables don't work from Hemingway. It works great from Fab. You could just like copy HTML and paste this entire thing in here. Let's actually delete all of this stuff. Delete it all, baby. Everything works great from Fab to AI, but sometimes the tables don't make it over. Anyways, I will come through here and usually do some Grammarly edits, which I don't know why Grammarly's not working. Did I turn it off? Oh, I did turn it off. No wonder it's not working. So here's my Chrome extensions. That would be why Grammarly. There we go. Now we're good. Grammarly Premium, I trust pretty well. I will generally just kind of like take its suggestions. I haven't found any that are like, oh, well, this is just wrong. No, it almost always helps. Grammarly Premium is really great. Really great. I'm really happy with that so far. You can't do this in free. You can do some things like actual grammar, but like writing style and these sentences, it's almost always better. I'm really pleased generally with what happens here. Various ink filling systems, it's going to give me a line there. Consider your writing habits. Like, I would never say that. I would definitely say this. When choosing a filling system, consider, I would even say like, think about. You can even search the page, like consider. Factors to consider, that one's okay. Think about, you can even do like Command F and like replace all. I've done that a few times. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Copy pasting to Hemingway, Grammarly. So at this point, I'll actually go through the post line by line. Again, this doesn't take very long. I'll generally do these things and then go through and just make sure that everything is correct and sounds good. Sounds like a human, sounds like me, that sort of stuff. And most of the time at this point, after I've done the one-click rewrites in Fab, a little bit in Hemingway, and kind of changing these Grammarly things, usually it's A+. It's A++. And part of the reason is because I spent more time in that editing phase, like making sure stuff was what I wanted it to be here. That by far makes the biggest difference for the content versus time debate, right? Like I could spend hours more, but honestly, this is the best bang for my buck. Optimizing that outline in Fab.ai, and then most of the other steps after this are just kind of cleaning and polishing, changing up some formatting things, and that sort of stuff. So after that, ChatGPT to do a featured image. I have a few actually, custom GPTs where all I have to do is type in subject, 1,000 fountain pens flowing with ink. I've already put in my settings here. It's going to be 16 by 9. It's going to have a dark background. It's going to be purple. It's going to have like a minimal feel and that sort of stuff. Like I spent a little bit of time creating the custom GPT. So now all I have to do is come in here, type in the subject of the image, and it's going to spit it back. One thing I'll also note here is that I have this tool called Clop, C-L-O-P. It's amazing. It's for optimizing images kind of on autopilot. So what I'm going to do is like literally download this image to there's a fountain pens flowing with ink. I would download the image to my downloads folder, and it's going to optimize automatically. There it is. It's gone from 337 to 297. It's also changed formats. You can see it's JPEG here, where this was a WebP image. And so now I can go over into WordPress and just kind of like toss it in there. And I'll usually rename it and do the alt text. So I'll grab like best fountain pen. I do that, come over here, alt text. I also rename it to whatever that is. There you go, set featured image, save draft. This is gonna look terrible because this is not the right featured image style. It's not the right custom GPT for this blog. So it's gonna look funny, but alas, that's how I do featured images, ChatGPT. Next up, I actually kind of skipped this, didn't I? Like I put in WordPress, do final edits. I actually do that usually while I'm doing this. These are kind of at the same thing. And then the publishing phase. So again, this I use the checker, which you can get at fab.ai/checklist, is where you can download this for free. No strings attached, no pitches, nothing. You just grab this guy. You can customize it to your heart's desire. So let's briefly go over here. I made a copy of this to not spoil my keywords, but this is like basically live, except for the actual content, which I changed. Assigned to category. This is helpful just to see like who's going to be doing these. Categories. I'm working through one silo first. So all of these are going to be like the same category to start with. Silo level. I've actually found kind of helpful to see like what are my big silo posts. And I have multiple levels, of course, like it's a tree. It's a mind map full of like 900 blog posts. Silos level 1, 2, 3, and you can see I've listed off like the silo parents. This is actually the keywords. This is wrong right here. For example, these two, this post, keyword number 2, is actually the parent for those on my real tracker. Again, this is just a temporary one. Status, these are still in progress to do. Is the draft done? I'll usually mark those off when the draft is done in WordPress, and that's usually when my my editor is now kind of taking over. I'm just starting that process as of this week. Featured images added to the post. I don't do a whole lot of those unless there's an easy way to do that. And then internal links. So this is the funny part. I have four internal link checklists. This is not optimal, but this is what I think I need to do. Links up the silo to the parent page. Links down, meaning links to children of the silo. Links side to side or across, I could probably rename that, to be post on the same level in the mind map in the silo. This one's just external affiliate links, if need be. I kind of check to make sure I can, I'm linking out where I need to be. Meta descriptions written, permalinks optimized. That happens automatically when I export from Fab, but since I've been experimenting with Hemingway, I'll have to go back and just double check that my permalink is set. Indexed, I don't index things immediately anymore, really, but I can't. I used to go to Google, or there's a couple other tools that can do indexing. And then links, inbound. Links to this new post from old content or whatnot. And this is going to be where I manage updating blog content in the future. This is a new brand, so there's like literally nothing here. But I'll put in the URL, which I replaced, again, just for safekeeping now, the URL of the finished post. And that's it. That is the checker right here. And I usually have like all of my keywords already on here, and then I'll kind of sort and organize. You can easily do a filter here if you want, based on category. Just so I do like one silo at a time, basically, is what's happening there. And that, my friends, is it. So if you have any questions, drop them in the YouTube comments. If you have anything that you think I could do better or easier, I'm always down to hear about it. You can grab the checklist for free, fab.ai/checklist. And other than that, I hope you guys have a lovely day. I'll leave links below this video to all these things. And that's all I got. Have a good one.